What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Shelly Finkel. Get this, Wilder's manager, win or lose against Usyk, Joshua is still a massive fight. Shelly Finkel, co-promoter of former heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder, expects his fighter to pursue the biggest fight opportunities possible in 2022. Last Saturday night at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Wilder was knocked out in the 11th round of his trilogy fight with the WBC world champion Tyson Fury. Wilder is expected to fight again by the midway point of next year. Although they both lost their most recent fights, Finkel still views Wilder versus Anthony Joshua as one of the biggest fights to be made in the sport. My gut says Wilder will go after the big fights. It's not on the drawing board now, but he would love to get Fury back again, Finkel told The Sun. But again, it's early and we have to get through Usyk and Joshua to see a couple of other possibilities. It's a massive fight, Wilder versus Joshua, no matter what happens in the Joshua-Usyk fight. And I'm not sure that Usyk, even with his great skills, will be able to deal with the size of Fury. Joshua is going to have a rematch with Usyk, the new unified champion, in the coming year. Finkel recently revealed that Wilder has to undergo surgery for his right hand injury that was suffered in the loss to Fury. Deontay broke his right hand behind the third knuckle, and he has to go and have that fixed next week. He has to have surgery, and the knuckle is okay. It's the bone behind the knuckle that's broke. It's sore, but it was okay. He was home yesterday, Finkel said. And he is at a healing point, and he's ready for whatever. So, let me counterpunch. Listen. Like I told you guys weeks ago, when you guys asked, will we ever see a Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua fight? I say, yeah. All they have to do is both lose. First of all, shout out to Michael Hunter, because Michael Hunter predicted this. If you guys can remember, he predicted this thing. He predicted that both of those guys would lose. But being that they both lost, that means it's less pressure and more opportunity and less politics that you have to go through to deal with those two guys now, because they both lost. They both have two sets of loss. They have two losses apiece, and they have no belts. So Joshua's up for his rematch, just like Wilder was, but Joshua lost his mandatory. So if he loses again, okay, yes, his stock will drop, but then that is always a fight that we want to see. I mean, you can't say you would want to see Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. It depends on how Joshua loses. If he loses in a hell of a fight like Wilder had to with Fury, okay, well, hey, and he still lost to Usyk some kind of way? Okay, well, guess what? You still want to see Joshua because his stock would pretty much remain where it's at now. You know, I think the heart factor will probably pop up a few points, especially if he gives it his all. That's if he gives it his all. So I think Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua will always be a fight that people want to see. That's just like Ernie Shavers and George Foreman. You know what I mean? Who wouldn't want to see that? You know what I mean? Even though those guys never fought, but that would be one hell of a fight. Okay. Now, also with Shelly, you notice how easy it is for promoters to start promoting. See, Wilder hasn't even had surgery yet, and he's still like, hey, that's a good fight. I think Anthony Joshua would still be a good draw. Why? Because they realize that, hey, let's get these damn fights now before the only people we have to deal with was guys like Rivas and White and Joyce and guys like they know they won't get any type of draw with. And then it will go back down the totem pole when it comes to finance or pay increase. Okay, so they don't want to get those fights. And then those fights are very dangerous too. Then you got Dubois and then Anderson. You have these guys that are coming up in ranks. Then you're like, oh shit, you know, and you have a few more out there. Definitely. I'm pretty sure I've missed a few, but those guys don't generate that type of revenue. They don't sell and fill up seats and tickets. You know, and then if it happens in the UK, if these guys happen to fight and it happens in the UK and it happens at Wembley and they sell out 90,000 seats, what difference does it make for those guys to have a belt or not if they can still sell? Think about it. Okay, so at the end of the day, and also if it happens over there in the UK, that means, hey, you guys should have fought over there 3 years ago. Then it would have been a massive fight. Okay, but I think Shelly Finkel's realizing, like, hey, my fighter can lose to another fighter, so we might as well get my fighter in with the biggest names in the sport and stop all the bullshit and the politics behind the power, egos, and trips. Okay, so and I think everyone has been humbled. Deontay, Joshua, Finkel, and Hearn, and they all, I think, will realize, like, yo, let's get this fight made because it's time to make it. Because we don't know how long these guys are going to stay up here, okay? Because especially if they got beaten, so they stepped down a notch, right? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Shelly Finkel saying that the Joshua and Wilder fight is still a reality if Joshua wins or loses. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.